and go around and delete. All right, here we go. What's happening? Let me just throw a song on right quick. Any special requests? Some old school. Let me throw some old school on you right quick.
Man, play some my favorite rapper. My favorite rapper from Oak. What's my favorite rapper, top five? Dangerous Dan.
You mean play some Dang?
That's my favorite rapper from Oakland. Dang, then Scary.
And Scarring.
Dame is my top five. Dame, Scary, Seagram, Goldie, probably Adrian Man.
Probably Adrian Man.
Flow along.
Flow along. Huh?
Just to flow along.
Hey, that's a cold lineup. I'm gonna hit you with this one. Hold on.
That's time.
I done some time, about 2 or 3. Kids locked down in the juvenile correctional facility. They tried to shake me, break me, but I wasn't
Come on in, y'all. Starting off.
Brother like me with sense. It's a threat to everything the system represents.
They couldn't stop it. I call a case for a gun and they coming for the drop. To me, that was
West outside it. Done a lot of time solitary confinement.
this was made to keep me quiet from here till they kill the heroes out of a ride.
Right.
Like Thompson, so my troops I raised my own sound of a ride along. Now I know they gonna throw me in the hole. I gotta do a couple of weeks of solitary control. I've been
I've been locked down, shift the rap from cell to cell, through my years, fell for these black guys as they rise towards the ceiling. Judge Albersaw, hey, he tried to make me, he made me a water state.
Water State being locked down. Motherfucking Water State. Water State being locked down. Motherfucking Water State. Water State being locked down. Motherfucking Water State.
But I'm not a house, so it's getting to my
Ooh, that's
attention.
hard,
I
this.
don't say yes sir, no sir. I don't like white folks, so I won't want to closer to 6 feet and getting woke up by my feet because I remember December and whip my
Man.
ass. Can't say nothing but another. I'm decrying our community. Gotta get me fight or ride. White folks safety, so they sit me to the California Youth Authority. It don't feel great being locked down.
Motherfucking Water State.
My time, 89, growing up in the field.
Man.
89, growing up in the field.
Took him back on that one, huh?
Swear.
Took him back on that one, huh?
Yeah, man. That's that legendary, man. That's that legendary early 90s, 1990, be exact around. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
It's
2
so
years
crazy
later,
how ahead of the game Scary was.
Huh?
It's so crazy how ahead of the game Scary was.
Man, it's so crazy how people would never get to know how brilliant Ascari was. Like, how much knowledge he had. And, you know, I had the privilege to, you know, really be around X and really, you know, be cool with X and get to hear how his brain operate and stuff like that. We was actually about to start doing an album together. That's before he caught that case. We had did like 2 songs and before he caught that case. But man, X, his mind, bro, he knew a lot. He knew fluently every Bible. Like he can have a fluid conversation with any denomination within about religion. It don't matter who you are, Buddhist, Baptist, Christian, Muslim. He knew all that stuff fluently. Like will shut you down and make you go back to the drawing board and try to learn and research some of the stuff that he'd tell you. You know what I'm saying? And it come off like it's like a computer. His mind used to work like a computer. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, things don't know what, but it had his mind where it was just that close to that brink. You know what I'm saying? And taking places and drugs and situations taking places.
Now, it was a cold combination with Ascari because, like you said, whether it was the drugs, whether it was the brilliance, keep it real, he was so brilliant. It was like, how they say with brilliance, you're almost close to insanity because he knew too much shit that I guess the average motherfucker wasn't aware of. So if he throw it at them, they was like, you tripping, you tweaking.
Average person couldn't even consume all that shit. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? You gotta read in books. Like, I read a lot of books. I read a lot of books and stuff like that. I heard a lot of stuff, but I don't hold everything that I hear. I hold pieces of it and stuff like that. He hold that shit like he held that shit like he know that stuff, and probably to this day, I bet you. Right now, a lot of that stuff, whatever, just unfortunate form he's in, it's not as potent. But he had the jail system, always getting whooped and broke to that jail system, and as a youngster putting back and forth, it really took a lot of the artist out of him. You know what I'm saying? So when you get back on the streets, he's trying to catch up, and in doing that, people end up catching up with demons. You know what I'm saying? They may have or may have had, and then that take you on a whole nother turn of life. But it's real unfortunate that X never really got the chance to get, like, in my opinion, Oakland would be a different place if X never failed. Like if X didn't fall down, X was our Malcolm, our new Malcolm. He was our new, breed of that. And he would have made it through us and everything else. He would have made it feasible, fashionable for the rest of the town. You know what I'm saying? We probably would have hit that turn and been back on our, Panther shit. You know what I mean? Because maybe like they said, they slipping stuff. That maybe that could be part of the truth. Because a brother like that would have had us on different levels. You know what I'm saying? Like X would have had us on different levels, man, especially on the unity and on the brilliance and planning and organizing tip. If he would have just been met his full capabilities, man, ain't no telling where Oakland would be.
You ain't bullshitting because, if you want to keep going that deep, it's like, how can I put this shit? The town is so cold because whether it was that combination of Black Panther or the Ward family with the players and pimp shit, it's like we was super militant, but we was real player. And coming up with that kind of concoction, you come up with some deadly motherfuckers. And it's like they had a certain different level of leadership that they had the charisma, the game, and the militance. And like you said, whether it was Dangerous Dame or just and even a Scary X, like, let's keep it 1,000. The story's been out there that motherfuckers got slipped Mickeys or, now watch this. Was it the town that just didn't want to see them come up because of the hate in the town? Or was it even powers that be or a combination of both?
Me in my opinion, if I did entertain the thoughts of someone slipping, I would think it would be more powers that be. I don't think that, no disrespect to the town, but I don't think that level of calculate like that they were that calculated back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, even that I would think the brute force of death is just number 1, 2, 3 priority. You know what I'm saying? Like when we don't like something, we unfortunately we deal with it with violence. You know what I'm saying? And
some motherfuckers that got slipped Mickeys because of haters.
Yeah.
Maybe a nigga was fly and got all the chicks that night at the club and nigga was mad and a lot of slip went on.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so, but I just believe like on that level of the game, like like what 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 back then, I feel like people objection was more to take advantage of the person, not take them out. Like a
Mm,
dangerous dang. You know what I'm saying? My father lived on 101st. He lived on 100. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him my whole life, knew him my whole life since I
mm,
met Dang probably at in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? Going over there to my father's house. You know what I mean? Going to Sun even before going to Sunnyside Park with my little brother father. You know what I'm saying? So he Dang wasn't a street orientated person. He liked it. He loved the streets and he attracted there, but he wasn't a street orientated person.
mm,
So his he loved Oakland. He wanted to be the star of Oakland. So people from Oakland embracing him, he's not going to be against that. He would have loved that. Oh man, they trying to bring me in. They trying to take me under like Oakland dudes do. They try to take you under the wing and keep you there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see what resistance that he would have put up to merit somebody slipping him a Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Or if it was just because somebody was just evil and was like, fuck that dude. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see why would somebody have to slip him Mickey when he would have submitted to the love. He wanted to be embraced. If he would have been embraced by the right people, Banks and them and all them, Short and them, whoever would embrace Dang was there for that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So
mm.
I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't. They used to always try to blame it on Too Short. I don't. I don't see that coming from Short. I back then I used to entertain that shit as a youngster, but when I grew up to start knowing Short and being able and dealing with Short and being around him and all that type of stuff, I don't see that in Short makeup.
Nah, I get you. I get you, and I understand how you even laying it out because keep it 1,000, nigga. We talking public right now, but we also town business, and we didn't heard all the stories from in front of the curtain and behind the curtain. And
Mm-hmm.
keep it 1,000. That was like a situation with them kind of brothers because they was great. Shout out to brothers like Father Dom. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Kenzie, what's up with you? The airway, not the airway, huh? Shout out to Amir, brother Chris, one time checking us out, brother Case. And we just talking real town shit. If y'all want to jump in, the link is right there. Just chopping it up, real spill with my partner J-Moe. But back to this town shit and the culture and just these artists, man, like Ascari X, like I've been on a kind of a little crusade, bro, the last year, just trying to figure out how do we preserve the culture of these, hip hop heavyweights, because let's face it, after a while, people fall off, man, and if they're not doing their music, people don't necessarily give them the same clout. But how do we kind of, start taking care of brothers like Dangerous Dan, brothers like Father Dom, brothers like, Ascari X, who really, gave us big game growing up in this city, but now they once we don't love you no more, you fall off. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
How do we, this
I
it's hip
mean,
hop turned 50 this year, so how do we preserve, like, even the old heads in New York, they having that problem out there. They feel like they're not being preserved. So how do we preserve the OGs when they give us the game?
well, us like yourself, who been in, and myself, who's evolving into media, it's our job basically to keep these stories alive and keep and become the bridge between the time and the era. You know what I'm saying? It has the stories have to be told and they have to be told in a fashionable way for people to be attracted to the story and for people to know the story. A lot of people don't know the stories. You know what I'm saying? And then we get a lot of people who do know the story or know some of the stories and leave out or forget about people who's important to the story and and put themselves a little get the light on themselves a little bit. So we have to understand that and know that it's not their job, it's our job. If you know what I'm saying. So we have to continuously go back and talk about Dame and talk about X, you know what I'm saying, and talk about MC Ant, you know what I'm saying, and Terry T, and talk about the Rap Attack, you know what I'm saying, and let people know that when in '88 and '87 when Soul Beat was popping and when Soul Beat was doing his thing, and these were the rappers that was doing the first beer commercials and endorsements and stuff like this. This hustle and everybody eating, all this whole the whole world is eating and manipulating the hip hop algorithm and eating off of it. We started that shit. That shit came out of Too Short trunk before anybody trunk. Like it wasn't no coming out no trunks. Nobody was selling that shit. New York, we love y'all for creating our breed, our putting the nucleus together to start the light of hip hop.
Right.
Because it's evidence that it was happening in different places everywhere. You guys started the light. Y'all broke the light, but y'all took us and taught us to go to these labels, to these so-called slave ships that y'all call them now. Y'all taught us to go to these labels to get out there. That's what the masses of hip hop did. Too Short
So it's time to get independent.
Started coming out the trunk. I don't him and Freddie B and what's Calvin T and all from Richmond and all them cats back in the days, and them cats was making tapes and selling them to the hoodsters, to the cats in the hood, saying their name, talking about they Falcons and Stains and all that type of stuff, mentioning that stuff, getting $100 for a tape because you just said little D name, short and said little D name, and he coming through in the Stain or somebody, however, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That is the start of independent hustle and getting money, your own money off of music. And that has resonated to the whole world doing it and giving the whole other somebody else the credit for it. You know what I'm saying? No homage, no kickback, no nothing. But understand, before any, if you cannot go back to no 1980, nothing past 1981. That's when Short first started releasing. 81, coming out their trunks. And from then, you had Pooh Man, you had the Delinquents, you had Bad Influence, Loonies, all these cats that came in hustling. We came in hustling and under surveillance. Don't forget about us. We the most under sought and talked about situation because of us, though. Because of us, I give it that because of us. But we have done so much groundwork, you know what I'm saying, within this community of music, you know what I'm saying, and all of us, man, it's been like that, bro. It's been like that. Hey, hold on, I gotta take a break real quick.
All right. So now we just vibing, man. Jump in with us if you're ready, man. Here go the link one time. Here go the link, man. Send me the link. I'm gonna bring you in. Shout out to my man. Let me show y'all what Amir Hassan is saying on that ass. We do need a Bay Area hip hop museum. Shout out to the Bay Area hip hop archives, though, man. Jahi and them, they over there doing some dope work, man. We just had a magnificent time last week over there at the Oakland Museum for Hip Hop 50. And I'm gonna keep it real, man. That shit was beautiful because the culture just showed up. Everybody was in a joyous mood. You know, everybody was, acknowledging and complimenting each other's contributions to the culture. You know, shout out to my brother Shaka, to my brother DJ Styles, to Eric Arnold, to even Jahi, the host. They all was rocking Soul Beat merch that day. So it was just, it was very heartfelt, man, seeing everybody out there enjoying themselves for the culture. It was at the Oakland Museum, and kind of, I guess you can call this my reaction video is, man, that shit brought back so many memories being around hip hop since the beginning. I mean, we was right next door to the Henry J. Kaiser Convention Center. So, for the youngsters, man, y'all need to get a chance to go up in the Henry J. But the Henry J was our first Oakland Coliseum in the town. You know what I mean? That was a spot where a lot of hip hop artists got their first shots at performing on live stages. It was a spot that, keep it 1,000 with y'all. When I was doing this, shout out to Mr. Johnson behind me, Chuck Johnson. I'm gonna give y'all a quick story while we're waiting on J-Moe. So while I was doing the rap show on Soul Beat, I was like 19, 20 years old, man. I was just doing what a 20-year-old would do. I was at my partner house, we were smoking bongs, me and him and his girlfriend. We was just chilling at his house. And I got a beat from Minister, shout out to Minister Keith Muhammad. His name is now Sabir Abul. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, brother, but he texted me and was like, come to the Henry J. And it was Farrakhan talking to the people about when he was going to be doing the Mean Man March. And long story short, y'all, it was just a dope hip-hop moment for me, because if it wasn't for me doing the rap show, I wouldn't have been sitting on the stage with Farrakhan, listening to him explain to me that the Million Man March is about to happen. And me and the brothers start hugging, and, man, hugging Farrakhan for real ended up making me say, going to the Million Man March, no questions asked. So I ended up bringing like 6 brothers with me. We all went, and it was just a ball. But it was just all from the spirit of this hip-hop shit. So, Jay, I was just basically telling them about we had the Hip Hop 50 last week, at the Oakland Museum. And I was just telling them how we had the old school Henry J. Man, remember the Henry J?
Yeah, the Henry J. Concert Convention, yes.
Hell yeah. Remember the old school jamborees? Like, what was one of your first hip hop moments in the Henry J? Did you have it?
Nah, I didn't. Like, I was going to Fresh festivals and stuff. Like, my biggest was when my folks threw the barrel bomb and the Will Smith story. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even with them though. I ain't gonna front like I was with them.
Give us that one. What happened?
Well, my folks was they was up in there. I was young, probably like 14 or something. So they was older cats from the Ave and shit. And they was up in there, and they had snuck in barrel bombs in that motherfucker and started letting them off.
And letting the barrel bombs off in the Henry J.
In the Henry J. And then one of them threw the motherfucking barrel bomb out the stage and almost blew Jazzy Jeff head off.
Wow.
And the whole crowd turned around, looked at him, so security got him.
Yeah.
And they took him back in the back and shit, and then took him to jail. But while he was waiting there, he was sitting there handcuffed, waiting for the police to come get him. The door opened, and 2 bodyguards and Will Smith walked up. They stood him up, and Will Smith said, "This Philly," and hit him in the stomach. And walked out.
So a twomp nigga threw barrel bombs in the Henry J, and while he was handcuffed, Will Smith with 2 bodyguards surrounded him, and Will Smith gave him one to the gut.
Said, "This Philly."
No bullshit. Mm-hmm. He said, "This Philly out here."
Mm-hmm.
That's hard. Hell no, man.
Mm-hmm. You know who did it too. He went to jail for it, so Dom G did it. That was Dom G.
Motherfucking Dom G.
Man,
we got to maybe call
him on and interview him about it.
Yeah, hell yeah, we got to get Dom G up on here, man. Again, man, we just getting this shit warmed up, man.
That's when.
Watch this. We're gonna be doing this shit every fucking weekend, Jay. For real.
That's my first going there. Then I went to Fresh Festival 1 through, I think it was 1 through 3 before they stopped. I went to all the Fresh festivals. I was
Dom G, that's hard. Dom G got gutted by Will Smith for throwing fucking barrel bombs in the Coliseum, bro.
And he went to Rita. I think he went to Rita. Oh, Rita. I think it was his first time. Yeah. Why
the town be doing that so hard like that, bro? Why has it been that town at a rap concert, dude? Why was we beat basically trying to beat up every East Coast nigga that came out here? Like, there's too many stories now about that.
You want me to tell them one about LL?
I mean, that's the one. I mean, that's one of them I thought of. It's just that's the
LL,
one.
Vito and him was cut creator. LL wrote. They was at the Malibu on the castle. That is at Malibu, and I guess the girl who's one of Vito and them folks' sister. She was working there, and I guess she got words with LL, and LL called her a bitch or something. And she got on the phone, called her brother, and they was on 7-1, right over the ramp, like right over the ramp. And by the time they got there, they was headed to their car and ran to the car, but Cut Creator couldn't get in the car, and LL rolled off on it while they whooped Cut Creator ass.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why he was. I don't think so. That's why he came with that going back to Cali. I don't think so.
Man, Cal was so cold with that shit, man. I mean, and it's like, keep it real. The town is, I mean, however you want to keep going with this shit, because we was going to talk about the current events and just how this area is at this point, man. Like, the town is so notoriously known for funk, but is also known for major fun. And I want us to just start thinking about how to get back to that fun, man, because all of this fucking bipping and smashing and grabbing is like, it's just, it's the culture. It ain't gonna allow people to kick it.
I was just having a conversation with Sean Kennedy earlier.
Okay. Definitely got to bring Kennedy on here. Okay, waiting on Jay to come back. I guess it froze. Yeah. I don't know what happened. Got to bring you back, Jay. Got to replay it or something. I guess it's going to catch up. Because I can't even hear you now. Let's see. Yeah, something happened with Jay, man. I'm about to bring him back in. Restarted and bring him back in. Shout out to everybody. A few minutes. Let's see. You want to do what's up with Jay? Waiting on Jay to come back, y'all. Somebody jump in with who was just on with us watching. Let's see. What's up with it? Conti, you gonna jump in?
All right, man, my shit just jumped off the line. I don't know what the hell. Yeah,
it's good. You can hear me back now?
You can hear me?
Let's see what's up. You can hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah, man. So now back to it.
Yeah, I mean, SK was talking about, just going through history and the extensive history, because that dude did a lot, man. I don't even want. I'm gonna let him tell the story, because some of the shit that, like some of the shit that he just explained, and would think the moves that he made, kind of, man, that hyphy movement, like a lot of that shit is crazy. A lot of the things that the positions he played, you know what I'm saying, and even in my career and shit like that. But anyhow, what I was going to say was, when talking to him, it made me understand that hip hop really, when I finally started taking hip hop serious and the real understanding of what hip hop was and holding it for the jewel that it is, it
Mm-hmm.
changed my life. It changed my direction and thought pattern and how the direction of life went. You know what I'm saying? And if not for that, most likely I bet I'll be incarcerated or dead. You know what I'm saying? And I think the youth and the cats of the day need to see what hip hop can do. And when like in Oakland, you really don't see what it can do. You really don't
Mm-hmm.
see the power of it. You see a few, you see your Fabs, you see your Filthies. Them to us, it don't look like that. Don't look like hip hop. That look like a rapping hustler. You know what I'm saying? That look like cats with hustle and business minds that can rap. You know what I'm saying? And it get misconstrued for what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Mm-hmm.
power of hip hop that put these brothers and put us brothers in position to parlay into different situations and different dimensions of life and take our lives from off a corner or from off of behind a from off of a credit card or whatever you may do to get your hustle on. It takes our
Right.
lives from there to boardrooms and other levels of life where we meet and elevate to other situations. You know what I'm saying? And it was because of hip hop. When I got with Hyro and them and seeing what hip hop really was,
Right.
how these young fellas is really living off hip hop and buying buildings and homes and traveling and all that type of stuff off hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Made me really understand this shit's real. This shit ain't no joke. This shit ain't fun. Like we used to laugh at that shit. You know, in the street hop. You know what I mean? And I don't
Right.
think people understand that, or the artists of today really understand that what it really takes and what it really is to really move hip hop music and be engulfed in the real hip hop spirit.
I mean, keep it real. They taking it. I was gonna say that they taking it more for granted because they didn't see how this shit formed. Like we watched that shit form. You know what I'm saying? We watched people contribute parts of it, and it kept evolving, and different elements kept coming, and then finally, boom! It was some multimillionaire shit that had hella different parts to it. We watched the shit actually evolve. They grew up with it already like established, and so now they
Mm-hmm.
just taking it for what it's worth versus realizing, this part is more ways to reach. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, let's just keep the shit real. We don't want to be up here just preaching and shit, but it's systematically that way. You know what I'm saying? It's not built for you to be an independent individual by yourself and everybody love you for being independent and building up your own machine and army and shit. You know what I'm saying? They want you to come to that organized front, the corporation that exists, and rock out from their world and they rules. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't know. As long as we talking about it, anything can be. Is what I'm saying? It's just this era is it's just damn. It's not a lot of. It's just not a lot of individuals that's actually getting the right support for their individuality.
Yeah, it's it goes back. I mean, we have to understand that the war on us, our people, will never end. It's a forever war. So you have the powers that be that's going to forever work at us and forever put us in positions to that we feel we have to fight over the bad, fight over, do the crabs in the barrel. They make us feel that we have to. They have brothers that withhold situations and hookups and brilliance from each other because they feel they have to, because they feel I'm gonna be eating. He gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna eat. And what about when I fall off? And he gonna open the door for them, and they feel like they protecting their own, their fort. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they want us to feel like. They want us to have, and by right, we be having excuses to feel like that towards each other because the design leads it up to that way. Like it's just not that, we would have just got into it. It's, the circumstances of our our living conditions cause us to arrive at this time and clash heads. You know what I'm saying? It's not me and you. It's the situations. I'm from over here, you from over there. Going after that, and we clash at a certain time, and that's because of the environment, bro. Not because of the choices, not because of the persons. What we bred to do. If I'm in Oakland and I'm on East 28, and my mentality is a different mentality because it's what I have to do to survive than versus when I'm in Vegas and I'm living a life of freedom. You know what I'm saying? It's a different vibe. You know what I'm saying? So you are who your environment say you have to be, and that's going to continuously be. So the brilliance, the love, all that shit can be there. But if the environment's funky, it's gonna stink.
Mhm. I mean, shit at this point in time, man, it's different out here because let's face it, let's be real with the town. Like we like to go back and reminisce on the '90s and the early 2000s and the '70s and all that shit. But let's look at the town how it currently is. All right, we about 20% left in population. I don't know how many is that are homeowners. Um, like the town is hella different. We got gangs now then penetrated the town. I mean, it's always been turfs and clicks from where you from, but now it's
Yeah,
real
gangs is
gangs,
different.
huh? There's real
Gangs
gangs
is
out here.
different. Gangs is different from turf. Turf,
Yeah, oh
like
yeah, for sure, for sure. I
the
understand that.
stupidity of, I mean, the looseness of it, just it's real. It's wild. Like Oakland is not a city. It's too small to be not knowing your enemies. Like you just running into enemies. Oh, he from over here for what? Let's get at it. Like that's crazy. So yeah, I understand that what you're saying. Like the big difference. There's a big difference. But the thing is, just like then and now, there's not a lot of options. You feel me? Like we we were in the we were in the game. The game was the game. But what was the other options? Get a square job and be live under par. You know what I'm saying? Or commit to what was going on outside. You know what I'm saying? Uncle, fathers, cousins, next door neighbors, your other mother, brother, babysitter. They all doing it. It's right there. It's just pushed into your diet. You want to eat it. You gonna take a bite. You love it. You in it. The other option wasn't too much. It wasn't too many other options and attractive options. And when you boil down to it, it was not a lot of jobs. You said that people, so you could have got a job. They were not hiring us like that at the numbers that we were presenting. It was a lot of young. Well, I'm lying. Close the door. There was a lot of. It was a lot. Hold on, man.
That's all good.
Come on, bro. You on the internet?
You on camera?
You look for your charger upstairs.
It's all player, man. It's real town shit, man. But nah, man, this is just one of them days, man. We're gonna take every week to kind of bring in some different artists, different people from the community, people from City Hall. We're gonna just talk real conversation about this town. Again, how we was raised out here versus how it is now.
Yeah. But like I was trying to make a point about the options and the opportunities out there. You know what I'm saying? It's like period. Like right now, to keep it real, they're hiring black young men at a higher rate, way higher rate. Back in the '90s, they weren't hiring us.
Hmm.
Like since then, they done made them hire people and took it back. You know what I'm saying? Like it was different. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that the options, is you're gonna have different crazy shit happening because number one, the murder rates ain't been hitting no 170s and 150s like in the '90s. So by numbers, it was way more violent. You know what I'm saying? And now, yeah, the robbery's up because everybody was selling dope.
Yeah.
We had to rob. We was robbing for thrills. You know what I'm saying? And cats that couldn't sustain a bundle. You know what I mean? So yeah, robbery is down and robbery's up because there's no dope to sell, no turfs to sell dope at, and all that type of stuff.
It's not
You know what
no,
I mean?
there's no dope to sell, and there's no people out here to sell it to. Like,
Exactly. So
everybody didn't move out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, I get it why the numbers even
but
went.
but my point is that poverty does this to us. Poverty does this to us no matter what, bro. In what era, poverty is gonna make the young generation react in a certain type of way, and whatever they have out there to do, bipping, stealing, that's what's out there to do. We got to come with some solutions. If any to see any turnaround and changes, solutions have to be brought because the problem and issue, all right, the true problem is us. Put your hands in there. We are the true problems. We the
We
ones who
are the
created
problem.
this environment that these kids have to survive in. We and people before us. We created these animals. These are not kids from nowhere else but from us.
Real
You
shit.
know what I'm saying? So
Shout
we have to
out to
come with
Stone in
solutions.
the building.
Huh?
Stone just jumped in.
What up with it, big dog?
Come on, Stone, jump in here. I know you got something to say, man. But go ahead. Oh, and shout out to Dom over here. He said the Black Panthers was trying to push out the pimps and the pushers.
Yeah. And they pushed the Black Panthers out. You see the dynamics of it that they switched us our mentality. They worked the cold game on us when they had people breeding the togetherness and coming together and like my grandmama used to stop do police stops. She see a black person pull over, she used to stop and police the police. You know what I'm saying? She used to watch them and to sit there and watch what they doing and make sure they not doing nothing crazy foul. You know what I'm saying? When you have that type of environment, the powers that be like, man, we got to get rid of that. We need that. We need this whole city to turn to a party. You know what I'm saying? This city need to turn to a party because
You do.
hold on real quick, man.
That's real. Man, Stone, if you're still on here, man, the link is in the up in the chat over here. Jump in, man. Have a word with us on this town shit, man. We're talking about the town, how we was raised versus how the town is now. Talking about a little taste of hip hop. You know, shout out to the boys over there at Poker Face and Dope Only. They doing the Simba live tonight at the New Pairs. So if y'all gonna be out tonight, go check out the New Pairs. Man, I hate to give it promo, but it's what it is. It's part of what's happening tonight. What's the old girl? Dirty Red or Sexy Red, whatever her name is. She out here. She out here with the Pound Town. She out here tonight. But yeah, man, it's like we just want them. We the type of dudes that want to bring that culture back to the town. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a lot of it's a lot of love there. It's a lot of fucking money there. Like keep it real, that's always was like behind the curtain. One of my biggest things was preserving the culture out here, making it where we stopped letting us tear up the town. First of all, it was us tearing up the town. You know what I'm saying? West Oakland nigga might not like an East Oakland nigga. East Oakland nigga don't like a North Oakland nigga. This nigga from this area don't like this. So we was always fighting and funking. We were just talking about the concerts earlier. But then add on not only us with the turf funk, because we used to be big turf funk in the town. If y'all really remember the town, boy, it used to be turf funk left and right. Just every turf used to wear their derbies and had they hat on with the repping they name of their turf and they name and the gang signs on that side of the hat. Like we always had all of that shit. But then came the out of towners. Now it didn't went from us knocking each other off to the out of towners is in there now. So it's a deep thing, man. Workout, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna bring it back to J-Moe, how I just laid it in, but Jay, I was just breaking it down how then how the it's like it's hella crazy how all these eras we got a chance to witness that from the 80s and 90s. It was like the turf culture in the town where I was telling them how niggas be wearing the derbies and shit. It'd be Funk Town and it'd be Seminary, everybody West Oakland, be Acorn, wherever you from. You had the derby on and then the hat. And on the hat you had right here maybe your name, and on the front the name of your set, then the hand signs on the side. What I'm saying is all them years we took to knock each other off basically inward. Now out of towners come in and now they doing their thing in this era in our city. And I wish that a part of that bravado that we had, that we was fighting each other at the concerts every week, we'd have took that same bravado to protect this motherfucker. And so when out of towners came, we knew how to regulate the dumbass niggas who was fucking the money up and make it where the out of towners had to respect something when they came here to patronize fucking Oakland, nigga. Like that's where we lost the whole shit about the town, is that we lost our player where nigga that's $100 million a year entity that I just discussed. You get what I'm saying? Because instead of motherfuckers bip and do hella donuts and fuck shit up, it ain't growing the city. It's then burnt the fucking city out.
Yeah, because we was the home of the Panthers, right? Guess what? And what we turned to? City of Dope. That sums it up right there. We were the home of the Panthers, the Black Panthers, the mighty Black Panthers. The FBI decided that they were the public enemy number one. That's how raw. That's how raw they was. That's how raw they is. That's how raw they is. They decided that this is our main enemy. Created COINTELPRO, which they take down everybody out in the world. They take everybody out with that tactic that they created to take down our people, right? The city of the Panthers, where the Panthers came from, and they turned us to the city of Dope.
Couldn't be saved
so
by
the same pride we had from the Panthers shit. We put that same pride as being dope dealers and killers and pimps, players, home wreckers, vibe breakers, inmates, rats, gossip queens and kings.
Just can't clap to everybody, yeah. That's crazy, man. I mean,
it's you know, it ain't sad to me no more because I know now. I mean, to know it is to be aware, and if you're aware of this and don't change yourself and don't work towards changing, like regardless what motherfuckers can say, J-Moe, you live in Vegas for 13 years. I done did more for Oakland in the last year than some of you cats ever do. Some of you cats just wake up in Oakland, smoke your weed in Oakland, fuck your girlfriend in Oakland, go to work or go hustle in Oakland, and go back home. Majority of y'all don't do nothing for the betterment. Nothing. It's a list. A list of people that I put on and continue to nourish and help and push their career. Political shit, life saving shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different things and things I wouldn't even speak on and incriminate myself or others of things that had to be done to help people and stop people and do things. You know what I mean, from doing things to each other and shit like that. Like this shit goes on forever. I will always be the piece of my neighborhood. I will always be the piece for my neighborhood forever. There's gonna always be somebody calling me every time, put me directly in Oakland business. On the now, probably after 13 years, once or twice a week basis.
Yeah.
Back then, when I first lived my first 5 damn years, I still lived. It was like I still lived it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, but it's like, what do you? It's just like what we doing with this right now, man. Doing this platform, like building this shit up. It's about having those conversations again about the past, but what is the solutions for today? Like, I mean, for the town that's left, because to be honest, my state of mind about Oakland ain't the same because it ain't the same. You know what I mean? Like, some days I'll be ready to spin off. Like, even at my age, it's like because we've been thinking about shit from an international, national level. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you get caught up with what it is, and you just you get used to it. But I'm like back to today and just living in today with it. It's like again, hip hop turning 50. I hope that it encourages some youngsters to at least learn the history about that shit and realize there's different parts of that game that you can create a wave with. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, I G with it. I understand right now they shifting the game towards Afro beats and other shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna always preserve the legends of the gangster shit and the mob shit and the player shit. But now the culture seems like the youngsters they ride to some other shit now.
That's because we don't. I've been for the last I ain't gonna lie, for the last 2-3 weeks I've been trying to figure out what is the Oakland sound. Do we have an identity anymore? What is the Oakland sound? You know?
I don't think it's an Oakland sound, but I guess you got to put it in the lane of the the new term, the motion. It ain't even an Oakland sound. It's just, do you got motion? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we'll ever go back to it. Well, keep it real. I guess you can say the funk, huh? I was gonna say the Funky Die dudes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, what I'm asking is when we had the mob sound, we had hyphy. Right now, what is the sound that you can distinguish that's an Oakland artist?
There ain't one.
We don't really have an idea because people are trying to right now is rapping like Detroit. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Detroit flavor going on. It's like that's a lot of what we gotta. The problem we dealing with, like the identity crisis. They gang banging like they from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And now, like, no disrespect to anybody, but they start to bring hood days like we from LA, and it's just starting to it's starting to get mixed up. The culture starting to get so mixed up, and it's hard to identify what is what, and therefore you're going to have mayhem because there's no root of what we supposed to, what are we doing here?
Mm.
So we gotta, it's a lot of, as far as older cats and old heads, with the old OGs, whatever they want to call us. That got to be, we can help with that, like establishing that, finding that, because it's a sound. It's some Oakland cats out there with an Oakland style is Oakland's.
Mm.
They probably
I mean, I was gonna say shout out to your boy Lord Rab. I could say that he being kind of close to our age, he's definitely stayed tapped in with the youngsters and keep me on it. It is some youngsters out here doing their thing. It's just like you said.
They all doing their thing. It's not a knock to them. They all doing their thing.
No, I'm not saying it's a knock. No, what I'm saying is what you're saying, that there's nothing distinctive, that there's a town sound that's in the culture right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Because like, as much as I like,
it ain't distinctive. Right back in the day, it was distinctive.
I like Killer Fonte like the motherfucker, but it's not a pattern that
I fuck with Killer Fonte.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of these cats that I like. My little folks, Big Vito, You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of cats that I like that just get down and putting in work and doing their damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But what I'm
Right.
saying is there's no Oakland style of sound right now. And that's gonna always like that keep us that holds us back right there. You know what I'm saying? Like when Larry June pop off, that's the sound
Well,
of the old
who is
school
our
disco.
what it was is that we had hella more producers back then. It was more town producers that you had a
A lot of town
Anthrax,
producers, they just
you had
people
you had
like
an Anthrax, the EA skis, the you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but I'm saying we got the town producers too. But if cats want a certain type of beat, and if you're not producing that type of beat, you feel me? They're not gonna really rock with you. So I know a bunch of producers from out of Oakland, bro.
I mean,
Just
the mechanics holding it down.
yes, sir. For forever. That's what what I'm saying. They
Would
they
you
they
say the
they are they
mechanics
are
like
grounded.
sound?
They are grounded. Listen, they are grounded in mob sound, and they're keeping it that way. So when you come their way, you're gonna have to deal with that sound. You know what I'm saying? But as far as everybody else, the other cats just try. It's just everywhere. It's not a real specific sound.
I mean, I guess you put it like this. Like you said, the mechanics is grounded in that mob bang old school sound. So again, would you say that their sound is what's current the town soundtrack sound? Like if you want a town
I
sound,
wish, I wish, I wish because I love that sound. That's our original sound and all that. I love that sound, but like I don't see the youngsters pouring to. They should be pouring to that sound and style, and instead they're trying to emulate somewhere else, another style of sound, and they should be going to the like it's the producer should be producing sounding like the mechanics.
mm, mm, I mean, damn, that is a trip. It ain't no chick or a dude that got a certain town sound that's under 35 that
They
makes.
do. All I'm saying is
Now, what I'm saying, hear me out.
it's
What I'm
not the
saying
mass.
is, I,
Like to be a town sound, a few people has to be doing it. It can't be just one person sounding like
no,
that.
I got what you're saying, but hear me out. I'm talking about that way that whether you was from the 500 boys with the Loonies and they was making they sound to the Dangerous Crew was making they sound to the boys in West Oakland and them they was making a sound like Digital Underground was making a sound. Everybody had their certain in-house studio producer spot that they rocked up together every night.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like even how PTB was or even how
Yeah.
Hyro was or you know what I'm saying? It's like we
That's
know
crazy. That's an interesting fact because a majority of the youngsters go to YouTube and people that they don't know to get their beats. Like I watch that a lot. People download their beats from people they never touched. You know what I'm saying? And and,
right.
and they if they a majority of them don't even contact them. Few of them do contact them, but they just
Right. It's just like
download
they
the beat.
had an organic clicks. It ain't the organic click no more. Like shout out to Davey D and Duke. I used to go to West Oakland and they'll have a 3 times they'll have the cell block that they was cooking up the cell block compilation. And so they'll have Rapping Ron and Dilly Dog up in there and Mr. Ill. And again, they was cooking up their own sound right here in the town. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mhm.
it's like I don't know if that'll ever come back unless we did it. Like unless we decided, fuck it, we gotta buy another studio in the town. Like I think Keep It Real, the last person who tried it, and I would love to hear his opinion of it was Short. Short, remember he had the spot over there at Everett Jones, right above here. It was like the last kind of like a compound to bring the shit to him. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. The next, I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it again, but it'd be a whole lot of difference with it with the situation. It'd be like, you know, business. Yeah, business. You know, the do's and don'ts of the situations is huge, and business structure, would be key. You know what I mean? Like we do need a foundation in Oakland where people can come and get the structured insight of what's going on, like how we had at the Howard Building PTB lab. Everybody was there learning, seeing structure through as we were learning and going through structure at the same time. They were all coming through there. Countless. I watched Stalin sign two different um, Ronald Mack and I think Ruger off the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that fluent with talent just coming through there, learning and seeing as we was doing it and learning the way to do it. So they had a better structure and understanding of what was going on as we was learning and we was teaching. And that was a cool structure. The only thing was missing more was paperwork. And bottom line paperwork, understanding that you are on our coattail. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people get it misconstrued at, and we didn't put our foot down at the coattail part because at the end of the day, being on someone's coattail will change your life or your career to an upwards way situation. And the things that transpire after you leave that coattail still has to do with that coattail because you take that away, you never be in the situation that you in. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to see that all that work put in and stuff like that, and other people benefit, and we never seen that type. Got the roses or flowers, or even a considerate thank you, not just hey thank you, but a considerate thank you.
Why is that why do you think that is a thing with us that bottom line is we don't like to give credit or give the right credit to the efforts or abilities that people brought to you? Like, or is it people asking for too much? Because you know how it go, man. They always say, man, real players don't keep score. You know, so
I think it has to do with the I wanting to be the man, wanting to be the man, the wanting to be the man syndrome. You know, in Oakland, unfortunately, being the man was a powerful position. And ever since the dope era hit, everybody wanted to be the man. And a lot of people was the men. And a lot of people wanted to always be in that spot and never got the opportunity or the shot to be in that spot from the block or whatever would not. So when people get that chance to be in position as that man, no matter if it's musically, job, whatever it is, they they harvest that position and they don't want to lose it for shit. Not their brother, not their cousin, not their homie, not they backbone. Nobody. They want to stay in that position. So they lie, cheat, steal, backstab,
all that
kill,
shit.
whatever, to stay in that position. And subliminally, it's within our environment, it's in our blood subliminally. Like this shit is in our environment. It's not something that we can control. We can't. We. It's not something that we're he like that. It's something that just come up out of us because of the environment. You know what I'm saying? And it's up to the smart, the will, powerful cats can control it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you see people just be boosie like that.
Yeah, man. And hey, Dom, if you want to jump on with us, jump in because he's 36. Because he shout out to Dom, he over here peeping us, and he's saying we seeing a whole different Oakland than he saw. So I love to see the Oakland he see, man, because again, man, we seen that shit from a whole nother lens. We saw the town. We grew up in the town. Now this shit is Oakland again, like Oakland something. Like I don't know what you want to call this shit. Is Oakland uncut, like,
Man,
but
it's just to separate. You know the separations, bro. Like the continuous separation of love, like between the communities. like regardless to what, we all came from West Oakland. Everybody came from West Oakland, bro.
Everybody off top came from
if
West
you really
Oakland.
from Oakland, your people came from West Oakland.
Period.
East Oakland wasn't for the black people
at all.
You feel me? So that's the roots of that shit. Can't be no difference.
Man. But see, that's just been that whole thing, Jay. I don't know if you still got a family out here that own property or got businesses out here, but it's like the last vested interest. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey man, I got my cousin calling from inside the gates. He in there. I got him on the speaker. You know what I'm saying? Next time I'm gonna try to. The speaker right here, this thing, my mic situation, probably won't be able to hear him. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, tell him hold his head up, man.
I would like him to, you know, drop some jewels. See, say something, cuzzo. Can you hear it?
I barely can hear him, bro.
Yeah, see that
I barely can hear him, bro. Yeah.
But we gonna set it up so y'all can get live on this thing. We on the podcast. We live streaming right now.
Yeah. For sure, man. Hell yeah, we definitely gonna talk to us that's inside for sure. You know, got a couple of nephews, man. I want to, they keep with it.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Hold on. But nah, on the real though, man, it's like I said, man. I don't know how much longer we're gonna go today, but I'll just say this, brother. Whenever we ready, I'm ready every week to start doing this shit. Whether it's, you know, say if it's 12 to 2 or whatever time it is. Hey, what's going on?
We get him out here.
Nah, man, this is just some player talk on some town shit. Like, at the end of the day, man, we got a lot of history, and we're gonna just keep doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? And, okay, you said you're gonna come up on the next one. Okay, stay with us online, man. We'll tap in with you, Don, for sure.
Hey, my son keeps saying, I don't want to be on the footage. Delete the footage. My older son keeps saying, delete the footage. I don't want to be on it.
That's crazy.
That's hella funny.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, man. But yeah, like our roots, man. We gotta get man together, man. Look at San Francisco. They balling on our ass. Balling on our ass. They got Empire, KMEL, Cookies, Mayor Breed related to all them dudes. They got boxing. They got all that going on over there, and they uniting. They standing united.
Hell yeah, San Francisco on hit.
They standing united and making the best out of the whole situation over there,
Right.
and it's dwindling down to the streets. You know what I'm saying? How it's supposed to, when you have some structure about yourself and one another in a city. When you put structure into a city and understand each other and work with each other, differences, things fall down to the bottom of the tree and everybody get to lead off the fruit. But long as people go at each other like piranhas,
yeah,
that's what you're gonna get.
So Jay, let me introduce. What's up with you, Ron?
Not much. How you doing, man?
Man, how you doing today, man? What's up with Ron, man? You seen him in a minute.
I know. I'm at work as usual.
So all right, on this one, Jay, this is a trip how both of my worlds is kind of matching right here. I'm gonna introduce y'all to Ron Friesen, man. This dude is a cat. I'm pretty sure he won many awards as a cameraman. How long you been doing that? For how
long? Since the 80s.
Man, been shooting World Series and Super Bowls and all kind of shit. Like, where you working at today, for example?
Coliseum.
Oh, yeah, the A's,
yeah.
A's games?
Yep.
Okay. Good seeing you, man. Wanted to pop in and say what's up, huh?
Yeah, and I had a few minutes, and I was just going through Facebook, and I saw this, and I thought I'd just stop by and just check it out.
It's all good, man. Like, what are some of your, before the A's leave, what's some of your favorite games, or what's one of your favorite memories of doing the camera work for the A's?
For the A's, I just want to say postseason maybe. Whenever there's like a World Series or playoffs, all the energy and the people, and it's just a good time.
Man,
was you there for Ricky and them?
Huh?
What's that?
Was you there when Ricky and them was playing?
Oh yeah, man. Like I said, I've been there since the 80s. So.
Oh yeah, okay, you did. So that was. I know that was a good time, a great time.
Oh, whenever he got up, you didn't know what was going to happen. You felt good when he got up. You knew something was going to happen.
Oh yeah, I was there. We used to get free tickets at Manzanita Center.
Oh, okay.
we used to be there.
Yeah, old school. When the town used to walk to the Coliseum to watch the games. But even for you, Ryan, let me ask you this, man, because again, I was in the union with Ryan almost 15 years with IBEW and IATSE and Samco and all of those unions that operates inside the Coliseum and even in San Francisco. How's life changing for you now that all these teams is leaving, man?
Well, it's freelance. So the same deal is like when something else moves on, I move on. I just pick up something else. Like, it's like I'll have like one package, like I'll have like, then if that dries up, then I'll maybe jump onto like college football.
Mm-hmm.
So I just keep it moving. It's just that simple. And as far as the A's leaving, it seems like a done deal, but I don't know how soon. I'm not really counting on them actually being able to leave that soon. I don't know if anything will be able to work out here, but far as them being able to go to Vegas, there's still just too many obstacles. I mean, the board just did vote for them to leave, but it's still not a done deal.
Okay.
And now until there's a shovel into the ground, you
now
really can't tell.
Is they holding out hope for that waterfront project in West Oakland or what?
I can't tell you about that. I just know that we've been waiting for them to build a stadium for 25 years, and Oakland hasn't done it. So, I mean, there's a possibility, but current leadership, I don't see them getting it done. I'm sorry to say that.
And then, ironically, my man J-Moe over here, he born and raised in Oakland, but now living in Vegas. So you ready for that for the deal to go through, huh?
Not really. I really, it sounds good, but I know the significance of what it really means for us. You know what I'm saying? What it really means for Oakland, and it looked like the whole plan of just Oakland, like stripping everything from us. You know what I'm saying? It started with the castle in Malibu. You know what I'm saying? It's like for years they stripped the cultural things, things to keep us together, like things that make us act cool, to be together, to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? They strip it. You know what I'm saying? Like the lake, the festivals at the lake, and all that type of stuff. Yeah, we've been had the history of going against each other, but it'd be so many girls, so many chicks there that man, we players today. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we trying to do this. You know what I'm saying? In those type of environments would keep cats on point, where they not messing up this and for that. You feel me? And the more they took that away, the more ruthless we became. The more now we segregated on these blocks. And when we do see each other on Foothill or see each other at the Sim store or see each other at Booker's, we acting like animals. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how I look at it. Like
right, taking our own teams away, taking away our culture.
Yeah, you take all that shit away from us.
Well, I'm a little bit more pessimistic. I look at it as we gave it away.
Mm.
I mean, they're giving money to, or they're giving land to the developers to build houses and condos and stuff like that. And they, instead of building housing for people to live in or buy, they end up saying agreeing to buy, to sell them. Excuse me, to sell to make housing for us, and they turn them into apartments instead after we agreed to give them the land just to make more money, and they don't go through on their promise, and they're not forced to. That land could have been given to be make a stadium.
Mm.
So, and I just feel, like I said, just leadership is just kind of let us down in that. I mean, there's a lot of things we could have done with the money and like invest in ourselves versus just sit around and wait for somebody to do something for us. And I'm talking about city of Oakland.
For sure. Definitely got to keep that independent spirit.
I mean, you look at how much money they've already lost with football and basketball leaving, and yet the only other kind of outside source of revenue other than the docks, what are they doing to try to keep it?
Yeah.
So,
all right. So, all right, you think they're gonna stick around for a minute? But I know, Ryan, I'm pretty sure you on a lunch break. But all right, good seeing you, man. I'm gonna have to come check up on everybody, man. Like I said, J-Moe, man, I just spent many moons with this brother, setting up Raider.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be 4:30. So just come in, unplug my car, and plug in. 4:30. Yeah. Cool. All right. All right. Yeah, I'm at the charge station. We all sharing that charge thing, if you remember that.
Oh, okay. The old school charge, charge station for sure. Now I was gonna say, what position you got? They got you in for the cameras today.
High first, if you remember that position.
Yeah, I remember for sure. High first.
Yeah, so just a shag camera.
So we talk about behind the camera, behind the curtain of the camera production, all the different camera angles when you're watching the baseball game. Is one of the brothers who be behind one of them cameras, that you get shots from the games, man, or even the football games. Like I said, we didn't work Super Bowls, World Series games. Like his brother really was one of the only ones that was one of the brothers that could shoot them cameras, man. So shout out to Ryan, man, for coming through. You got anything else for the people before you go back to work?
Oh no, just thank you for having me, and it's good to see you, and good to meet you, Jay.
Yeah, man, same here, man. And thank you, brother, for the great shots over the years and understanding there was a brother behind them cameras. It makes it even better. So keep up the great work and salute to you, brother. And we're proud of
you. All right, man. All right, I gotta get going, man. I'll check you later.
All right, catch you in a minute, Ron.
All right, bye bye.
For sure. So again, man, that's the type of you never know who you're gonna see, jump on here who want to just really have a good conversation about culture and just where we was raised. So we're gonna keep doing this, Jay. We're gonna definitely start promoting it before we jump on, have some guests lined up, have our subjects in order, and keep this shit rocking, man. Like I said, that was just dope to see him because, like I said, that was the other lens of my life in the town where, like you said, the sports shit was real, man. That was a way not only to have some excitement, but you had a living income. Like I really have had to keep it real. I had to morph more into soul beat, because of keep it real shit like what we just were talking about. Like the Raider games got cut out. You know what I'm saying? I used to work the Raider games all the time. You know what I mean? And if we don't let us get in the playoffs, I was working the Niner games and the Raider games. You feel me? Was working the college sports and all of that. But now, since the Warriors left, only people that got a job from the Warriors was the security guards and a couple of ushers. Everybody else, game changed, brother. You know what I mean?
It's a D.
Huh?
It's a D. D Sharp.
They took D Sharp out there. Yeah. But other than that, it's just a tremendous impact to our economy. I ain't mad at they had to go to Chase because that's where the money at. And also got to mind Frisco. You was mentioning Frisco, and it's not a knock to them at all. Because I shout out to all my Frisco partners. I go to Frisco all the time. That's an international city, though, bro. That's like
Frisco lit, and they doing what they supposed to be doing.
It is like bullshit.
Frisco. I only mention them because that's what we supposed to be doing.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. They learn from the lessons. They learn from the lessons, man. Again, when the town was raw and hard, instead of motherfuckers building up each other brands, everybody start competing with each other brands.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And out there, they making a concerted effort to sit at the business table, like and figure out, all right, this your month or this your moment. Let's all surround that shit. That's what we fucking need, man. Even as an OG now, that's what we even gotta be preaching. Like, learn that lesson that don't be too cool. Like, I ain't too cool to be cool to see J-Moe and the plug up just come up right now. Whatever way I can support his shit. You know, I feel like he feel the same way about Soul Beat. You know what I mean? Like, we got to start showing them examples because them youngsters, you know, they got it in them. They fuck with each other, but it's man, the town, we just
they need each other, man. They need each other and don't know it.
We just sitting over here on the porch drinking a beer, talking about the old days. These young motherfuckers, like, they don't get that.
I mean, that's an issue within that because you know, you always gotta get like to you gotta live to get old. So when you think some old cats is sitting there talking old shit on the porch, they talking about the route that you're going. They talking about the pavement that you're walking on because you're headed. You gotta make it to 49, Pimp. I got I got 150, 160 some people. I say out of the 165 people I know that's dead, at least only probably 40 of them probably made it, were older. You feel me? They didn't make it to 49. You have to make it to 49. So when we talking routes that's going to come in your path one way or the other, unless you're staying in the house. So you're going to run into some of the shit we talking about. You're going to run into it. It's going to affect you. It's going to come into your life one way or the other. No doubt, unless you stay in the house. So listen to what we were talking about on the porch with the beer. Because when you hit the corner and the shit happened to you, having that little experience of hearing about it can be the decision of your life. It can make or break you, bro.
For real. Man, keep it 100. We ain't no like new booties to none of this shit. Like, man, it's a lot of stories between me and this dude, a lot of history individually and around each other. So it's like it ain't fake. It's real. You know what I'm saying? Shit we on, we know what we talking about. And it's just different levels to this shit too, man. Because we can go from the streets to community to business to politics to fucking esoteric knowledge on your ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can learn a lot from an OG if you just, you know, sit down with them. We can learn a lot from you. Shit. It's a lot. It's a lot. I love fucking with my young homies and just hearing how they think and the shit that they aware of. Like, keep it 1,000. You know what I really like that they fuck with out here? How much do you fuck with the stock market and all that shit? The cryptocurrency and all that shit.
I was on it. I had I got a few of them apps. I was messing with it for a minute, then I fell off of it. Um, it's a hustle. It's a hustle. It's really a hustle. And if you give it your time, it's a lucrative hustle. It's just like me.
So you got stocks? You own stocks?
I got a few left, but shit. To be honest, when going through my sicknesses and shit, I had to sell a lot of that shit. But I had like $9,000 worth of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I spent like I think I spent like 45 to 5,000, and it made up. You know what I'm saying? It accumulated up to $9,000, not some. You know what I'm saying? And could have been better if the circumstances wouldn't have been what it was. You know what I'm saying? I could have pushed it, but I got sick, and then when I came out of it, I opened up my the studio, and it required me a lot of time to be up and moving, and you know what I mean. And I could like the stock shit. You need to be on it. That's what people fail at because they think that they listen to people and they think, oh, You put a stock, then you sit there, go back and check it. Like going back and checking it can cost you your money. You know what I'm saying? The shit be up and down, be dropping. You gotta watch what's going on and understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's about timing. You know what I mean? And somebody might tell you, hey man, this is about to pop, and you don't believe it. And next thing you know, they pops. And that was your moment. You're supposed to get on, get off. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of time, it's time consuming. And but it's beneficial in a motherfucker if you got the time to do it.
Mm.
Learn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. That's what I feel about stocks.
Nah, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like the youngsters, they naturally got that shit going on, and that's the type of shit we used to have to get turned on to. You know what I mean? Somebody had to pull your.
Because now, I mean, you got to look at now. We got apps. You can download an app and jump right into the stocks. Back then, when we was, you know what I mean? Like we thought you had to go to Wall Street or some shit and go somewhere and do that shit. But you know, it was like even I first got into stocks before these apps. Like Fidelity. You know what I'm saying? That was my first time jumping into it. To be honest with you, bro, I got turned on to Bitcoin way before, way before the whole motherfucking wave of that shit. And I bought some fucking Bitcoin stocks that were being cheap. That was the wrong one because I didn't know how to read the shit, and I bought the wrong one, and all that shit hit. My shit didn't do nothing. I was hot.
Yeah, keep it real. Shout out to motherfucking Casual, man.
Oh man, that's the man right there.
That
That's the
nigga,
man right
man.
there. I made
Watch
like
this.
when I was
This
doing my
nigga,
little thing when I was just
this
talking about.
nigga hit me. This nigga hit me 5 years ago, Jay. 5 years ago, probably on some 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning shit. Chuck, I got something for you, man. It's this shit called cryptocurrency or whatever you said. It was like that nigga was trying to turn me on to that shit back then. I'm hella crazy right now. I'm realizing that nigga done ate for real off that shit.
Man,
You
one
know
of
what I'm
my brothers, hit for what he hit for 200,000 off of he bought some Bitcoin at I think he spent 3,500 for three or some shit like that. The motherfuckers something like that. Them motherfuckers turned 200,000, boy. But yeah, Cash been on that shit. Like just when I was doing that shit, what I was saying when I was fucking around, I was getting pointers from Cash and
saying?
listening to him and doing little shit he say do and you know what I'm saying. That's how I learned. You got to really be on it. DB be on that shit. DB do that shit
Yeah,
too.
shit too.
Yeah, so yeah, but you got to really be on your shit. Like you can't
Yeah,
be, you know, I'll be engulfed in hella different shit. So I'll do something and go have a car and I gotta go run off and do something and come all back around. And now 7 o'clock in the evening, I'm just remembering after all the shit I had to do. I'm just remembering. I'm looking, oh shit, I done lost. You know what I'm saying? And woo, woo, woo. So it's real, you know. But it's good money.
man. So I mean, shit. Man, I need to get my ass back on it because I know if, like you said, DB. Shout out to DB, and then we was just at the Building Wealth event with Steph Curry and J.P. Morgan last week, man.
Yeah,
So
I seen the picture of y'all, man. I was very proud to see it was you, DB, Conti, um, and, and
it was Razul.
huh?
Was Razul?
Was it? Oh yeah, my cousin Spitty. Yep, that's who it was. Yeah.
Yeah. See, so yeah, man.
I seen that picture. I was like, man, that shit. It took me into a history space. I was like, man, that shit. You know, I was proud to see y'all at the same time looking, all y'all looking vibrant and pause, looking good from some grown older men.
Yeah.
Still doing this, still in the right direction like y'all always been. Man, that was good.
Nah, respect, man. A lot of people were telling us about that picture. Man, shout out to Conti and them because they turned, because keep it real, to be 1,000, I didn't think I knew about it, but I think he texted me about it the day before, and I was just like, I was fresh off of the hip hop celebration day, but they hit me and told me that was happening. I got my ass up, man. It was like 7 in the morning, 8 in the morning, got my ass up to just You know, you gotta keep wanting that shit, bro. You gotta keep wanting that shit. You gotta keep learning new shit and meeting new people, man. Like that's what it was all about. That event met a lot of dope people from J.P. Morgan, and you know what I'm saying. The master investor was in there. Ian Davis. You know, he
Yeah.
was down with the Earn Your Leisure Boys. So it was just a dope night. It was a dope day, I should say. So it's just like I said, man. I just be wanting to open up a platform like this so that we can bring everybody together to have this kind of conversation, bro. So I'm glad we're doing this shit. I think we should do this shit much often, and I know it's on me. And like I said, we gotta promote. Yeah, it's on me, and we gotta promote the shit so we make sure everybody know the time we doing it. We spitting big shit. What else you got before we go?
Man, hip hop archive thing, man. Um, you know, just want to say like it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears been contributed to this Bay Area hip hop music scene. A lot of people are missed and overlooked, man, in these lists and displays of what Bay Area hip hop is. And I understand some like dude from Hip Hop Archives, not the from the area, but you have to get some great research, like well-rounded research from a lot of different angles to sum up the history of what this shit is. And to miss important pieces seems disrespectful or degrading. And although you might not do it intentionally, it's not an intended thing, you just don't know. But to do it, you should know. Meaning, if you're gonna do it, go find out. Don't just stop at one or two people who sound like they know everything, because there's so many, man, like there's different stories, you know what I'm saying? There's different sides to each story. There's the winner and there's the loser side. Their story's gonna sound completely different. You know what I'm saying? So saying that to say, then you got the onlooker who saw it and didn't hear everything. They might have a different point of view. You know what I'm saying? But there's so many different perspectives and point of views of people who put in work, man. Um,
I mean, you know how it go. If you got the paper or you got the crowd, that you the one being heard, and you might not even be the one. You might be the thief. You know that shit, man. It's like at the end of the day, is just like even with the Bible, man. Who won is whose story you got, whether they cheated or not. You know what I'm saying? That's the story you got. So, I mean, let me ask you this: what would you consider as the criteria for somebody to like? First of all, shout out to Jaheed and the Bay Area Hip Hop Archives, because I'm gonna say it like this, bro. Just like he said it in his speech, bro said he been living in the Bay more longer than his original home now, and on top of that, instead of certain people quote unquote criticizing or having an opinion of him, why you didn't do it? Why you didn't create the Bay Area Hip Hop Archives? Because let's just keep it 1,000. Jahi is my homie, and I get where he come from. He come from the base and the culture of kind of more the lyricism slash backpack slash originator elements of hip hop space. Like he come from that kind of cloth. But then he got eventually, I guess, soaked up into so much game and history of the Bay, he would have looked crazy if he only talked about the quote unquote backpack space without dealing with the mob or the hyphy or, just the other elements that exist to our culture. But to my point, I was going to say, how do you preserve the artists that may not have had as many chances to be on radio or didn't have the the commercial success, but they were truly bricklayers to the culture. Like how do you make that happen when even the popular ones who have sold records or who's known for being on that music video, doing that song, or I mean doing that dance or wearing that clothes, like is they barely being remembered. The ones who is being remembered.
I feel like all right, to one to say why you didn't start the museum, because that's not what I do.
Not even you.
I'm just saying in general, answering the question. That's not what they do. What I do or what they do. To do this, you have to have a desire. You have to have a desire to outline a point in history. And in that desire, you have to have the desire for the truth. Because within the story, it's the truth come out is how deep you dive in the situation. Now, if you go to one or two, three or four or five and stop there, that's just what you wanted to hear. But if you hear a name or a person within a story being told, and then you go do some research on that person, and you're hearing this name, and you're hearing the Ant Banks, and you're hearing um, MC Ant, and this, that, and all, and then you hear that you researching that. It's the desire for the truth, bro. Like it's just like digging deep. And I don't know that brother, and I don't have a knock towards him. I have a knock towards all of us. Everybody should everybody around him, everybody around shouldn't allow him to not know the history. And if he don't know the history, it's because they're not allowing him to know the history. And it's
who
not
you felt was left out?
Huh?
Who you felt was left out? And then, first of all, hold on, before you answer that, number one, this is the second installment of inductions, so I know that there's more to come. So I guess he just started with who he started with, but he's definitely fielding information like these type of moments from real ones that's reminding him there's some people missing.
And it's not specifically him. There's a lot of this going on within, Fizzlers and all these other sites dropping their top 50s and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? It's not just specifically him. You know what I'm saying? It's I've been hearing a lot of complaints about him, but that's because he's the only one that has a spot, a museum. You know what I'm saying? And jealousy gonna come, and all that's gonna come with that. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of it's just a lot of history being misconstrued, period, or all around the board. So when I'm saying he and him, they need to know. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just one thing that's going on. You know what I mean? It's just like a lot of just a lot of the beginning of things, man, like Dangerous Dame, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Keep it real, they inducted Dangerous Dame this year.
They did.
Yeah, they inducted Dangerous Dame. Shout out to Nick Mack, who's in the building.
What about Ant?
They didn't, keep it real. I wish I could call Ja and get him in here because he really that cool with me, and we may bring him in next week. But long story short story long, bro is even looking at brothers like us and others that if we want to join, quote unquote, the committee and be a contributor to it and be a part of it as it moves forward and inducting people.
That's beautiful.
He open to that type of shit. He I don't think that he's missing the boat. I think that he's just starting the boat with where I guess he wants to start.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. It's a lot of history. You know what I'm saying? It's like the boy, like we was talking about earlier, Sean Kennedy. You know what I mean? His footprint. You know what I mean?
Sean had his imprint on his culture, man.
Man, with the Ill Trance record company, with the Ill Trance record pool, the record pool and the promotional, you know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about how he was getting the flack from the source, driving the source van, and when the East Coast West Coast was going on, he was talking about the cats in Hunters Point threw hella bottles at his at the van, told him get up out of here. That East West shit,
boy. That nigga crazy. Cause like I said, you can't take people history away, man. You know what I mean? Not even if you don't like the motherfucker, you can't take their history away, man.
Can't take it away, man. History,
it's like, cause to keep it real, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 over 20 years fucking with this shit. Was it? Tell me your experience, but I learned that it was certain rappers that I might not like their music, but I liked them as people. And then it was rappers who I loved their music and was fucking assholes. So
that's accurate.
Yeah. So the point of it is that I had to learn, even doing the interviews or meeting and knowing these motherfuckers. I had to have my personal opinion and then my professional opinion. You know what I'm saying? And so, hell yeah.
Let me ask you one thing. What have you ever interviewed somebody, and if you have, who was it that your fan emotions just was overwhelming, like you had to calm yourself down or something?
I had to really think about that. A fan emotion was overwhelming me, and it took me a lot to stay in an interviewing mode. Probably somebody like LL. Probably was like LL maybe, or
but it was Jay-Z wasn't as big as he is. Jay-Z wasn't as big as he is.
Then. Oh no, he was big. He was big. No,
he wasn't that he wasn't a mogul like.
Oh no, he wasn't a. He was kind of on the curve coming back. He went from a superstar rapper to kind of mellowing out to transforming into a fucking TV star. I saw him right when he was doing the Fresh Prince, not the Fresh Prince, but what was his name of his show?
I said Will Smith. I said Jay-Z, fool.
Oh, I'm tripping. You said Jay? Oh, you talking about Jay? Jay. To be honest, the energy with Jay was more about tripping off the East-West Coast tension. He was just coming into getting back into the industry. But to keep it real, I was excited because I was hearing his music and realizing that he wasn't writing his shit. And I was like, oh, shit, he different. We don't even know what we about to see because this nigga don't even write his shit. Nas was writing his shit. Biggie was writing his shit. Pac was writing his shit. This nigga wasn't writing his shit and it was raw. So I knew him as an artist was nothing to be fucked with before I sat there at the chair with him and interviewed him. So I had all of that in my head when I was interviewing him. Not only that, fucking keep it real, a fucking hour ago, I was just sitting with Mac 10 and Dub C talking about the East-West Coast war that they about to unleash with this West Side Connection album. And I'm thinking in my mind, nigga, we in the Eastmont Mall in the straight hood. I'm like, man, I need to get you niggas up out of here because this nigga with Kareem Burks, Dame Dash, and fucking Jay-Z is about to walk in here on some East Coast shit. Like, I didn't know if they would have handled it professional or if it would have been ugly because it was that type of heat. So the energy was different from, keep it real, my first interview probably that had me tweaking out was probably the Fugees. With fucking with Lauryn Hill and Wyclef and them, because it was just new. It was just my new reality that I got to start interviewing national known artists. So for a minute, it was kind of like, damn, this shit is a fool, because I used to listen to these fools' music every day to now I gotta quote unquote be in not only interview them, but some of them became my partners. Like a lot of
Lauren.
Huh?
I was Lauryn Hill when y'all did it. Was she shy or was she more outspoken?
Lauren was, to be honest, Lauren was hella laid back and cute as fuck. She was just laid back and to me and hella cute. To be honest, I was about to holler at her, but Wyclef gave me the vibe like it ain't cool. Like
Wyclef that was his thing at the time.
But nobody knew. It was crazy because it You know, we keep real. This is all public knowledge now. I'm gonna probably say this story another 15 times, but it was public knowledge that he was married. You know what I'm saying? But he let me know when I was behind the curtain about to introduce myself and vibe with her. Keep real. He kind of like, she stood next to him and I was staring at her. Keep real. I was giving her a look. Wyclef gave me a look and did this, pulled her in. He like, he did one of them on me like,
cuff. That's called the cuff.
he cuffed her on me. He tough. And I was like, oh, okay, my bad player, my bad.
He cuffed me.
I did a my bad player, for real. Wyclef and Prize, nigga, on 38th and Foothill. Real town shit. I was gonna holler at Lauren Hill, real shit. But I can't really think of nobody that I interviewed where I was on some almost fanned out shit. MC Ren, kinda, but not really. Like, I really, to be honest with you, bud, fucking with Soul Beat and OG Chuck Johnson, and the way he was showing me the game and telling me how these niggas was dope fiends or they was broke as fuck on contracts or woonty woont, like he was dispelling me from a certain level of being afraid of them niggas or fanning out. Like the town in me, the town in me, the Soul Beat in me. You know how niggas do. Keep it 1,000. It's a good thing and a bad thing about us. We try to make everybody regular. We try to regular everybody. But nigga, this is a really gifted human being. This is a really gifted human being that needs to be respected at a different level. And sometimes we didn't give it to him.
But the thing is, what he was doing was trying to neutralize the fan part of it, that you was a young black man, you know, coming in contact with some of the people that you idolize. And, you know, emotions and anxiousness get over that, can overpower your professionalism. And then you know, out of nowhere you messing up, or the interview don't even come out right, or you do some goofy shit, you know, because of it. But OG, he kind of like dumbing the fan shit down by telling you these truths about him, so you can look at it like a day at work, you know what I'm saying? Another day at the office. Oh, it's President Obama. Well, shit, he get high and do crazy shit too. Come on, listen, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? That's how that was working on you and shit.
I mean, and like I said, trust me, it was hella different times that I was winning, and I did have moments like, keep it real, meeting Eazy-E with Chuck Johnson was a fool. You know, I wasn't interviewing him, but I was almost on some fanned out shit. Like, I barely wanted to talk. I was just kind of like, damn, I'm standing next to Eazy, nigga. I'm standing next to Eazy, nigga.
Me too, though. When I stood next to him, I was just like, damn.
You said what?
I said, me too. When Dave had the original Push the Beat PTB, Fat Dave, rest in peace. Unc had a record store across the street from Puff and Stuff, like in the 40s, on Foothill. It was across the street from Puff and Stuff, and it was called Pushing the Beat Records. So he had retail record store, and all, you know, he had SoundScan, so all the artists would come through, and he knew them and shit. So he took.
Watch this. 3 blocks away was where Soul Beat used to be. From there,
I know,
right there.
So we go to the little spot before the concert. No, at the concert, the little backstage thing, and he go back there. He take us back there. And we like this. I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, damn, it's easy. You know, just looking at him. Then I'm fanned out looking, and I glance at Laylaw, the fool Laylaw, rest in peace. And that fool, he had a trench coat on. He opened the trench coat, and he had a 12 gauge, and it was tied to a rope. I was like, damn.
It got real.
I hit Kamani like, you see that? He was like, the gat. He was like, he had the gat.
Thing, man. That's crazy.
We had the gat, boy.
But that's, again, man, that's the part where I can appreciate with like what you're talking about right now, because there has been the times where it was regular, and then there was a time, man, I can't be regular on this one. Like, keep it real, it wasn't regular meeting Farrakhan. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't regular, man. Because to be honest, that was the first time I was knowing that my life is changing now because long story short, I had went to when he was doing the Millionaire March speech to invite everybody to the Millionaire March. It was at the Henry J. And the brother Minister Keith just told me, "Hey, come follow me." He had 2 bodyguards with him. He was like, "Come follow me." And so I just was following them. Like, damn, y'all smelled the weed on me or something. Like, y'all about to kick me out or something. And so he walked me up on the stage and told me to have a seat. And I'm like, what was this for? Like, why you do that? I'm still whooped. Like, I don't know. And then next thing I know, Farrakhan came out and all the crowd, it was 1,000 people out there. And then he just started hitting it hard about going to the Mean Man March and black men being unified. After that, he introduced me to Farrakhan. And then it was like 10 Nation of Islam brothers surrounding me like, yeah, it's different. You know what I'm saying? And then Farrakhan was like, brother, you enjoyed it? I was like, I'm coming to the Mean Man March. All 10 of them brothers, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And then Farrakhan straight started hugging me, man. We hugged for like, it felt like 2 minutes or something. It was just crazy because it was just, it's different. Like, to be honest, that was a moment where I could say, all right, I was tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't, it didn't leave my mind for at least a day or two.
That's dope right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Stevie Wonder, met Stevie Wonder fooling with Chuck. That was a fanned out moment. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm basically sitting on the same bench as him playing the piano, playing Ribbon in the Sky. Man. The chick's word, man. The chick I'm sitting right next to him and watching him go so long.
Did he see you?
Huh? Yeah, did he see me? Yeah, this nigga crazy. This nigga hella funny. So he looked behind that glass at me, them glasses, and he was letting me know he seen me. Nah,
that's big right there. That's the moments, man. Like people, you know, like and to the people listening, man, and when y'all fall in here later and listen, y'all understand. These are the type of moments we're gonna be giving to y'all. These moments, behind the scene moments. You know what I'm saying? With people who really been there. Like a lot of, you know, we behind the scenes dudes. We the dudes has been behind and pulling the strings and making stuff happen for people for years. You know what I'm saying? A lot of cats and a lot of names. You feel me? So you're gonna hear these stories, man. These
sure.
great stories about celebrities
Jay,
and
where can we find you? Where can we find you, bro?
Who, me?
Nah, where to find you online?
I'm not online.
You got the Plug Up Media.
Plug Up Media, man. Instagram, call them Plug Up Media. YouTube, the Plug Up Media. Facebook, Plug Up. You know what I'm saying? And the regular me, J-Moe. You know what I'm saying? You know, you should find it. But check it out, man. Go check out the Plug Up, man. It's on TikTok, all platforms. It's you know, just the media. We covering the media, but we got a lot coming. A lot of reactions and smart short skits and different little genres of media that we coming up with. We cooking up in the background right now. So y'all just stay tuned in, man. You can always catch me with my brother on the Soul Beat thing, man.
For sure.
We're gonna put together a Soul Beat plug situation for y'all.
Whenever you're ready for me, I'll come tap in with the Plug Up, man. For sure.
Yeah, we're gonna continuously build this platform so we can start letting more knowledge and stories out, man, because you know, a lot of y'all don't get to hear these behind the scenes stories about y'all favorite artists and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's a lot to be told. We ain't gonna give it all in one episode or two. We're gonna spread it out, and it's not gonna get thin because, like I said, it's been 20 years in this industry, and man, things go far back.
Well, like I said, we're just gonna keep lining it up. Just warming them up, Jay. You know, we're gonna keep building on this shit, and until the next one, man. You know, free them all day.
Free them all.
Free them all.